Donald Trump, as we've been following very closely, is increasingly, you can feel it, desperate and terrified as he gets closer and closer to multiple trials starting. And we'll get to, in the second thing I have for you in this segment, an example of one of the steps he's taking that's very much in line with that. But first, he posted something on Truth Social that is him explaining what he thinks his legal strategy, legal defense should be in relation to the election interference cases, and also what his co-defendant strategy should be. You tell me, and I'll also tell you if we think this is reasonable. He wrote on Truth Social, anybody attacked and indicted by the failed district attorney of Fulton County or deranged Jack Smith will, I assume, and as I will be doing, show how the presidential election of 2020 was rigged and stolen, but he spells that incorrectly, the probable reason for your protestation and or protest. The evidence in Georgia and nationally is both massive and conclusive. The January 6th unselects even illegally destroyed and deleted all filings, evidence, and proof. That's not true. That fact alone should be reason to drop all charges. So he is saying, as a defense against the allegations of him violating the law in his effort, his criminal conspiracy as is being alleged, to overthrow our democratic process and keep himself the president despite the lawful results of the election, including the fraudulent slate of electors, trying to assert electors to be the lawful constitutional ones that weren't, and then using that to justify him staying president, or Mike Pence rejecting the results of the election, or local officials doing things that would be a violation of their oath of office, all these different things that were part of this alleged criminal conspiracy. And his defense, he's saying, should be, and his co-defendant should be, well, the election was stolen. And we're going to prove it like how we've been able to prove it for the last multiple years. Oh, wait, we haven't. So how he'll be able to do that now, I don't know. More accurately said, he won't be able to. And also, I have, as he freaks out about, for example, Tanya Chutkan is overseeing the federal election interference case into him. And she's not messing around. We've seen that with the way she's handled January 6th rioters cases and also Donald Trump's thus far. And so he wants her off of the case.
Just into our Law and Justice lead, former President Donald Trump has asked federal Judge Tanya Chutkan to recuse herself from the 2020 election subversion case. This is one of the two cases brought by special counsel Jack Smith that is playing out in Washington, D.C. CNN's Caitlin Polance joins me now. Caitlin, why is Trump asking for Judge Chutkan to recuse herself?
Well, Donald Trump is trying to get Judge Chutkan off of overseeing this federal case against him because he says she might not be fair and it could undermine the public's confidence based on what she's done as a judge already related to January 6th cases. So this is a filing coming in today in this case that she's overseeing. And so Donald Trump is asking Judge Chutkan to recuse herself from a case. This type of request is rarely successful. Judges often are looking at themselves regularly on whether they should recuse and making that determination before a defendant would need to ask. But Trump is going to the court of Judge Chutkan and saying, please take yourself off this case. We don't think that you're the appropriate person to see this case to trial, the January 6th federal case against Donald Trump.
So not surprising that he would try to do that. Funny because it's very unlikely to work. And I'm sure he does wish that every judge he would have to deal with would be Eileen Campbell, who's overseeing his classified documents case in Florida. But that's not the way the cookie crumbled. And so he will have to deal with Tanya Chutkan, and she's very unlikely to take herself off the case because why would she? She, at least based on the record I'm aware of, is perfectly able to fairly, correctly oversee this case. Now, she's not going to bend over backwards to treat Trump in a special fashion because he's Trump, which she shouldn't. But she absolutely could be and will be fair, again, based on all the information I'm aware of.